Okay, so in the same vein of family friendly is the idea of privacy. So you have a lot of kids that are able to make videos really high quality. They're filming themselves playing video games. They're doing all kinds of stuff. What, from your vantage point, do you have concerns about kids getting out on social media at an early young age? You're so pensive. I've never had a guest that's so
I'm
that
thinking
has
about
these
it.
long drawn out
Oh,
pauses.
sorry.
I'm sitting there
I wouldn't-
wondering, do I need to cut these out for people? Or
You might.
no,
Yeah,
by all means.
I would be
you should-
terrible on radio. I don't have a yes no on that.
Well, maybe what
Yeah,
are the
I'll
things
think-
people
I'll-
should consider?
Well, it's no good, obviously, when a kid goes and puts himself out there online and then gets sort of bullied by the comments and ends up killing themselves. That's what I think about as like, that's terrible. And then, so that's the bad side. All right, so that's the risk you're taking. What's the potential reward? I don't know if the reward's high enough. I'm not sure for a child. What is the reward? I guess they're learning skills, which is great. Maybe learning the skill of coping with sort of negative comments and criticism is pretty worthwhile life skill. The money that they might make is definitely a good reward, but most guys going out into business that are sort of quote unquote risking everything. A 35-year-old guy quits his job, starts a business. I'm risking everything. It's not risking his life usually. It might be risking a bunch of money, mortgage, stuff like that. But these kids seem a lot more fragile because they're just so much younger, and taking that kind of online abuse, maybe that risk isn't worth the reward. So I'm not sure. I think the parent just has to kind of look at that and say, okay, what's the makeup of my child? Do I think they can handle it? Should I just disable comments so no one can comment on what my kid's doing? I'll give you a little story. When I was maybe 12 or 13, I was a computer dork. I had what was called a BBS, which stands for a bulletin board system. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I had one at my house, right? Got my mom to install a second phone
you
line.
were advanced.
So kids could call up this thing. And I remember I was 13 or 14, and my handle on this system was Black September. Okay, that's what I chose. I'd read a book about it, so being 14, I thought I'd be cool, right, and name my handle Black September. Not really fully understanding, you're 14, you do stupid things.
I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to remember. Let me look it up. I think it refers to a terrorist event perpetrated against Jewish people. Sorry. Okay. Black September was a Palestinian militant organization founded in 1970.
Oh, man. Okay.
It was responsible
So, yeah.
for the assassination of a Jordanian prime minister and blah, blah, blah. It's when a bunch of Israeli athletes and officials were kidnapped and killed during the 1972 Summer Olympics. Okay. And I'm not a religious person, but my mom was Jewish, so I thought I was sort of being like ironic, calling my handle Black September. Okay, not really understanding what I was like doing by picking that, but I was just like, I don't know, being stupid and ironic. And I started getting all these people on the bulletin board just harassing me nonstop about all this, anti-Semitic stuff, and I I just like,
Were you prepared for it? I mean,
no,
were you-
I didn't think that was going to happen. I just thought it sounded cool. Oh, Black September. That sounds cool.
And what did it do to you? Like, were you, I mean, because
I just
it's not like your
unplugged-
friends
I-
at school would see it.
No, I just unplugged the computer one day and just shut it down. And people kept calling that phone number for like 6 months trying to get onto the bulletin board. So I was really hurt by it. You know, I was like, this person doesn't know me, and they're saying all these terrible things about me because, you know, our family's Jewish. It was terrible. But I could just turn it off. I could make it go away. I just unplugged the phone line. And so it just sort of went away. And so the reason why I bring up that story is because the kids today, is there an off button for that stuff? I don't think there is anymore. You can't just like turn off social media. I mean, they could kill their account, but then that kills their whole like highway into their social network, literal social network with their friends and everything. So they can't just kill their Instagram account. Were they going to start a new one? The people that are harassing them will just go to the new one. So that's what I mean by, I guess the kid could delete their YouTube account or delete their streaming account. I don't know. I haven't thought enough about these things, but I think they're complicated topics. And
Do you have access to your kids' social media accounts?
I don't think they have social media accounts, or maybe if they do, they're all set sort of private or whatever. But yeah, I guess through my actions of not really wanting my kids to do this stuff, I don't think it's good for them. And I remember reading something about like a lot of the guys that work out in Silicon Valley send their kids to schools that, you know, don't have iPads. Yet the school my kids go to, they're like, every child has an iPad. You know, they're just like, this is great. And the people that work at Apple that invented the iPad are like, I don't think these are good for kids. You know, I don't know if these are the best devices. Kids being in front of screens all day learning off it is great. You know, again, everything in moderation. I don't think the trade-off. You talked about privacy. I don't know if it's totally worth it, especially for a kid. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you should be creating content at that age because, again, I think the risk might be too high versus the reward. I mean, I made some really stupid videos when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. Thankfully, you can't find them anywhere. You know, you're finding yourself, you're finding your way at that age. And do you want everybody seeing that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like, and I don't think it'll ever happen, but it does seem like it'd be really nice if kids could hit a reset button at 15 or 16 and just be like, you know, you just don't get that.
Yeah, just like you got this big like undo button they can press, and it's just like, or at any point, and it just sort of wipes your whole digital life clean. That would be cool.
Thanks for watching this podcast short. You can find the rest of the interview on my channel. If you like this video, I hope you'll hit the like button and consider subscribing. I release a new interview with an interesting person every Wednesday morning.